Deciding to invest in a real camera instead of using your phone or borrowing from somebody is a really big step for your company's social media. It's a very important step, and it's an amazing step in the right direction. But I mean, it can also be kind of daunting to look at all of the options, all of the brands, and try to pick out which one. So I'm going to try to help you with that, give you a few broad generalizations that should help you be able to narrow down the kind of camera that you want and that will fit your price range. Remember, in the audio-visual world, you get what you pay for. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm telling you should buy a $5,000 camera, because I'm absolutely not. I'm not going to recommend that. If that's not your budget, don't even bother going there. To try to make your social media look as good as it possibly can from the very beginning, I would highly recommend going from about $750 to about $1,500. I would even say probably closer to $1,000 if you can swing it. It'll just make it look so much better, and it'll give you so many more features. Brand. To me, brand means kind of everything. And really, in, again, the same audio-visual world, brand really does mean a lot. Having brand loyalty isn't important, but when somebody says, that's a Canon, that means something to somebody. They could have positive feelings or negative feelings, but generally, when it's a name brand, where it's a brand that's been around for a while and that people recognize, in this world, it's usually pretty good. So there are three major players for brands in cameras: Canon, Sony, and Nikon. I chose to go with Canon because Sony's had upgraded their sensors, which to me is a very big deal, in about 7 years, which was about as good as the camera I was using previously before this. That wasn't going to cut it. I knew I needed to get a better camera that had a new enough sensor in it to make a nice quality image that could do all the things that I wanted it to do. I've been mentioning the sensor a lot. The sensor is what actually creates the image when light is exposed to it. So having a high pixel density is super important. Your camera these days should be able to do at least 4K video and should have 1.5 to 2 times more pixels in an image, in a still image that you take. Having more pixels means it's going to be a denser image, which means that it's going to look better to your eye in that we see solid images. We can see texture, we can see things that a camera doesn't quite see. It's trying to piece together a bunch of little dots to make a solid image. Having a high pixel density will help with that. Having low lighting ability also helps it to see in darker situations and would hopefully make it require less light. Cameras are still can be cameras. They're going to want a lot of light regardless, but can still be better, and it can be more flexible and versatile that way. ISO is your camera's ability to add light artificially. The more you add, the grainier your image is going to get. And having your ISO at a high number while having your image still look pretty good, maybe still some grain, but that's acceptable, is super important. 4K. I said that your camera should be able to do at least 4K video. The reason is because the world is being very slow to shift to 4K right now. But it is making the shift. Think about the Avengers movies. If you've seen it or not, you've probably seen advertisements, and it was probably like, it's in 4K now. It's in Ultra HD. Having your camera be able to do that and to at least somewhat compete with that level is important. I was once told that while the world had moved to 1080, newsrooms had still been in 720, which is the step down from HD, because people just didn't notice. But I think that there is a big difference that people do notice between 1080 and 4K. I think there is a big difference. And especially if you're going to make videos like this, if you're going to live stream, when it's going to be viewed on a big screen, like on a TV or on a computer monitor, it's important to have 4K ability, to have that pixel density. And it puts you ahead right now, if you were to buy it today, it puts you ahead of where the world is currently. I mean, you've probably seen other people on YouTube, for instance, are moving to 4K, and it probably looks so much better. I mean, I know when I look at a video and in the corner it's telling me it's in HD, and I go, no, that's definitely a 4K. And you click on it and you go, yep, you went to HD when this was filmed in 4K. It makes a big difference. It really does. So having 4K, super important. I hope you found this video informative. I will see you later.